In today's lesson, we will be covering a monsoon sort of scene. It will be very cloudy. It's about to rain, or just finished raining, or is it still raining? I mean, that kind of a feel. Okay, so we will be taking this as today's reference. Okay, and for this reference, I credit the reference to Painting References Facebook page. They do a wonderful job there. So I am taking this from the Painting References Facebook page. See, this is very intricate scene. In fact, I mean, see, there are very natural kind of clouds, naturally formed clouds, very atmospheric, and if you try to depict it exactly like this, I mean, if you try to copy all these clouds and all the shapes, then you will pathetically fail. That is for sure. That is my belief. If you can succeed, then it's great, but I don't think that is easily possible, right? So what we will try to do is we will try to create this kind of an atmosphere in our work. Here there is nothing is very precise, nothing is there to draw precisely. Even these are all hills, some distance mountains or hills, so even if you draw it little bit here and there, it still will be convincing enough. So we don't worry too much about the drawing here. So, and for the clouds also, you can't, maybe you can just think of the overall shape of it, but you don't draw it exactly. It will fail. So what I would be preferring here to draw is this particular road, probably this road, and maybe some foliage here, the ground, and this tree which is slightly bending here. I'll try to get that somehow creates a feel of some wind happening, or I don't know, it is little bent, so it could be some wind happening during the monsoon days. It is not very clear if it is still raining or not. That don't worry, I mean, we'll try to depict something, this kind of an atmosphere. Okay, so this doesn't have any character or figures. I think there is a small bike or something standing here, but we will not worry about this. Okay, we will not copy exactly these things. We will try to justify these things a bit, and then rest we will just suggest. So there is nothing too much to draw, in fact. Okay, so what I will be drawing is big sky. In fact, this also covers a lot of sky, and in fact, if you look at this particular line, this I will try to copy this line. I will try to copy this road, and this kind of a suggestion, and some suggestion for the mountains. Okay, that's it. Right, we will not do too much of tonal study, then it will become very complicated subject. So we will try to, I mean, do it with the paint itself, right? So this seems to be somewhat, this width to height is somewhat matching with my paper. Okay, it is not squarish composition, it is slightly wider, so that is how my paper also is. So we don't worry. Even see, this is not an architectural stuff, so we don't have to really worry about too much about being accurate. Little bit representational level is sufficient enough. There are too much of steps here, I will not do anything there. Okay, so if you really look at this, I will just make a frame kind of this. Okay, this frame is somewhat in proportion to what we have here, not exactly. So where this line should come, this is a clear kind of a line. Okay, this line should come, maybe if you measure it, this is 1, this is 2, and 3, 4, so almost maybe 1/4 of the height. So if you mark it as half, 1/4, so it is somewhat here you have this line, so maybe slightly up. So it's all judgment, yeah, your judgment, you don't have to measure right now. And this is almost somewhere here is the center, so this road is almost at the center. So if you mark this as the center, so this road may come here and it is somewhere cutting here. You just make a line here. Okay, this, and this end is very narrow, so you make this as here, and this is somewhere cutting here. So just okay. So this angle that gives the perspective, the depth kind of thing. And here you have some foliage. So let us say make some foliage here. Some foliages here. Okay. And here you have some foliages. Okay. You don't have to really worry about all these things. Okay. And lot of field or something here. See, there are small houses or something which is very vague, so I am not worrying about that at all. Now the next thing is this particular hill. So if you really look at somewhere, it is coming from almost how much? It is almost 1/3 from the top. So if you do a 1/3 of it, maybe 1/3, 2/3, somewhere from here it is coming. Okay, there is some cut here. You don't have to worry too much, but still I am trying to get some of this representation if possible, but I will not be struggling too much to make it precise. Okay, so there is something here, some distant foliages here. Okay, and then comes a lot of clouds. We have big clouds here. Okay, these are all clouds. Some clouds here, and it is almost filling it. So I am not going to turn it here because it will be a futile effort if I do that. I'm just trying to copy the elements, the main elements. So somewhere here there is a big tree. No, I wouldn't say it is a big tree. It is somewhat bending here. Okay. So there are some foliages here. Something that is bending sort of thing. So that is enough for this. Some kind of thing here. And there is a road, and in the road you will see a lot of patches of water and all, some white gaps. You will not white gaps, some muddy water accumulation is there. So you will try to define those things with the pencil, with the watercolors when we define it. Okay, so this is the step, and here you will have a lot of. Okay, so I am not going to precisely draw this. So this will be a futile effort if I do. I don't know, still I am somehow tempted to do that. I know it will not work, but still. I'm just trying to take some charcoal powder here. I'm just trying to lift some charcoal powder with my finger and just trying to make some suggestion. Okay. You can take a cloth if you don't want to make your hand dirty. You can use some cloth. I'm not going precise here. It became very dark. Okay, no worry. This is what I will be trying to get. I know this became too dark, but I think you get it. This is what I told you. If you attempt doing it, you will fail. But I think still it is giving some sense of the rainy season here. Okay, so this we'll try to do it in watercolor. The reference at the corner. So this is, as you told, about 1/4. We have this, and around at the somewhere at the middle, this is the middle probably, and you have, it's all very rough. Okay, very rough, very rough. I feel somewhere here you have this. There's a big here. There is some kind of a dip here, right somewhere. So I don't want to make it really dark, but it's coming like something like this, and there is some distant mountain or something here. So somewhere here, and here you have all these clouds, and here the tree will come somewhere here. It will come, and maybe it will come up to here. See, I'm just making some mark here, but actual tree I will make it in the this one when I paint. And we will try to make some puddles here on the road, some muddy water accumulation, but I'm not sure whether I can place it exactly here or here, etc. So that we will decide when we paint, right? Okay, now we will go for the watercolor work, and for this I will not be using many colors. Okay, so what probably I will be using is, I might use little bit of ultramarine blue and cobalt blue, ultramarine blue, cobalt blue, violet, sap green, olive green for the trees and all, this burnt umber for dulling out the blue to create clouds, burnt sienna I might use to get the proper shade. I might mix it for cloud, or I might mix it for the trees, etc. And some of raw sienna I will use. I might use little bit of orange to get those puddles of water, etc. So these are the things I am planning to use. So I might pick some other color as I move on, but that I will tell. Right now, going to the washing. See, this I would suggest you not to paint along, because here we have to make very quick decisions, right? So you cannot watch the video, do it, and then pause. Then you will not find proper merging of the things. So you might try to do it in a single go. So try to understand the application of the brushworks, and then once you have a good confidence that okay, this is how it works, then you can proceed, right? Okay, so we will go with the brushes. So coming to the brushes, I'll take all round brushes. This is a reasonably big round brush, synthetic one. Okay, I took 18 size, but but the brand doesn't matter. It should be reasonably big. That's it. Synthetic medium round brush, little strong. A medium round brush, synthetic, and a liner brush for some minor or precise suggestions. Now what I wanted is, if you really look at if you look at the reference, you see that there are a lot of little bit of warm underlying sky scene. Okay, little bit of warm kind of a sky, and it is merging with the clouds. Okay, and little warm, this is okay, like a whitish kind, and here you find some orangish kind of. Okay, so what I am planning to do is, my plan is, I will do an entire wash with this kind of a color, and I will extend that wash to this road, and while this is still wet, I will very quickly suggest the clouds, the lighter clouds, and while the lighter cloud is still wet, I will try the the darker clouds, all in a quick succession. No much waiting period. Okay, So that is what is the plan. So how much it works, let us see. See, these kind of works are very, what you call it as, if it works, it will work perfectly well, and if it doesn't, then it may fail very very badly. So I don't like the pure raw sienna kind of a thing. Little bit of touch of raw sienna, then I picked up burnt umber. So I thought raw sienna will be too yellowish for this, and it is very very light wash, if you see. Okay, very light, very pale. I don't want very larger wash, and I'll very quickly apply it. Okay, it may appear a little yellowish now, so I think I wouldn't mind too much. If you want, you can apply a little bit of water to peel it down. See, what I am using is a quarter sheet paper. Quarter sheet paper I am using, and this is Indian handmade paper. Quarter sheet means 15-inch wide and 11-inch height. That is the kind of standard. See, I am very quickly washing, and I am not worried about being very watery. Okay, because I want it should be a lot of wet on wet should happen. Okay, so I am just ensuring that it is adequately wet. And now at this point I will add little bit of orange, so that I get some orangish tone as I come down, because if you look at the reference, you find that, or some orangish, I took some orange and little bit of a touch of burnt sienna I am mixing, so that some muddy color I am getting, and I am applying it here also. See, I don't want anything very precise. It's very watery, if you see. And if you want, you can even make one more layer of watering. I mean, just to ensure that if your paper dries very fast, you can make another layer, very layer of washes, and keep it wet. Okay, now I don't want this color, a little bit is okay, but now I want very quickly, I want to get some lighter clouds done. So what I do is I take cobalt blue and burnt umber I take. Okay, it is little bit muddy, if you see. Little bit cobalt blue, little bit of burnt umber. Okay, it looks to be very muddy kind of thing. Okay, and maybe I'll take a touch of violet. Okay, a small touch of violet. You see how this color turns out to be, and you have to be very quick in applying this. Okay, you need to have almost, you're about to fill this space, and somewhere here you will find a lot of white gaps. So I'm just allowing some white gaps to happen. Okay, and at the top it is almost filling. Okay, and some it is touching even the hilly area. Okay, it is mostly touching here, and see, I am expecting this all to merge as I come down. I am giving some kind of a definition now. Now if you really see, there is it comes out little darker, so I wanted it should be little, there is no white, much of white here. Okay, now I wanted some more darker colors. Okay, the same combination, cobalt blue, little thicker of a version of burnt umber, cobalt blue, little burnt umber. See, the color you can change. Okay, If you like some other color, you can change it. So what I am looking for is something which is darker than that, so that some darker clouds are also there. Okay. You might think that it doesn't work, but I believe. So you have to believe you have to depend upon your gut feeling and what you have, I mean, kind of develop as you do more and more watercolors. You will get some kind of a feeling that okay, this might work, this may not work, etc. That way, that you can depend upon those things. That is the only thing I think you can depend upon. Now this you have to quickly do. Okay. Now on this itself, I will apply a little bit of sap green, and again I don't want it to be this much greenish, because this much green is not visible there. Again I am mixing it with a little cobalt blue and burnt umber, maybe this little bit of violet, and I am trying to make suggesting this just trying to follow the edges there. See, you don't have to really worry about these edges. In fact, I'm just trying to do, see, this area is dry now, so I don't want very quick. See, the paper is reshaping now, but that is because we apply a lot of water. Okay. Little bit of a violetish tone I'm using for the distant hill sort of thing. It's almost matching with the, what you call it, is the cloud tones. I'm not really worried. It looks very, what you call, dark now, but I still hope things will work in our favor. So that is just kind of feeling I am having at this point. The feel kind of thing. That is little greenish, but I don't want to make it very greenish. Okay, just softening it. We'll see what best we can do. We have to do something here. We'll see what best we can do. Okay, now if you look at the reference, there are a lot of things kind of whitish application here. So there is what you could do is you can just take plain wet or damp brush and just make some marks. Okay, see, that will create some kind of, it will push away some of these pigments. Okay, See, it may work, it may not work. That is the problem with this wet and wet stuff. It might sometimes work, it may not work. So, and what I will do is I'll just protect some of the sky and sprinkle some water. Yes, I don't want a lot of things to happen at the sky. I don't want to disturb the clouds too much, but the other things, I just wanted to create something there. Okay, now we have to be little worried about this road. Okay, so how will you make the road? See, the road color is again very much same to the cloud color if you really look at. Okay, so what we will do is we'll take off this color. I don't want any green color for the road, so I am just cleaning off. Okay, and I'll mix this kind of a color again. What was those colors? Remember? Cobalt blue. This is what I take. Okay, you can make your own combination. I never restrict anyone to use the same color, because that should be the choice left to the artist. Okay, now you see why I wanted it's very dry, I feel. So, not really sure whether I should try this or not. Let me try. I'm making it little dilute. Yes. Okay. Now I want to see, I'm making some quick brush marks. Okay, and making use of the texture of the paper also, so that I want to get some kind of the white marks that are left, not white marks, the yellow marks that are left from using the texture of this one paper. So this is something that we have to use little carefully. At the far end there is nothing much, but at the near end I want some of these marks to be left free. Okay. Some of this will act as a puddle of dirty water. Okay. I think I am falling short of this color. I should have taken care of that earlier. See, if in the middle of something, if you fall short of the color, then you will find it difficult to get the exact shade. I don't know whether this works or not. I'm trying to worry now about the spaces left. That should suggest as if there are some puddle of water. So some of these spots, negative shapes I have left. So let us see how exactly that works. So I think that can, once dry, this can look like something like some puddle of water there. Okay, before I leave it to dry fully, we have an opportunity to define some of these edges. So what I do is I take a smaller brush. Okay, I take a smaller brush and little of bluish green tones. I just also took some burnt sienna. Okay, and then I'm trying to make some of these darker edges. Okay, it is something that you can, if you want, you can avoid doing this. See, that is really not required, in fact. But see, you know that sometimes this lost and found edge sort of thing, that gives a lot of interest. Okay, so just to get that kind of stuff, I'm just trying something. I'm just trying to diffuse it immediately so that we don't overdo it. It's something like some kind of from somewhere some fog is moving away or something, and you're getting some sharper edges. Just to create some interest, nothing more than that, and you don't have to worry about that too much. See, that all will create some kind of interest. That's it. I'm using my finger a lot to get this kind of diffusing kind of a feel. Okay, so this some kind of a distant foliages or something I'm just trying to suggest. Okay, that should give some kind of some distant foliages kind of thing. Okay. Oh, I have split some water there. I don't know how it is going to look. So immediately I'm lifting it out. It might, if you allow them to continue spread, it might spoil more. I'm just rubbing it there. Okay. Now there is some distant trees here also, foliages here also, which is slightly more violetish in color, violet bluish in color. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to do, but mostly I'll spoil it if I do that. Just dampening the brush and just kind of trying to somewhere it is losing the edge, somewhere it is precise. Okay, that's it. Now let us, this area is somewhat dry. If you want, we can create some foliages around this area. See, now it is buckling a lot. That is because the paper took a lot of water and it kind of D-shaped a lot. So this, I'm little afraid that it is too much darker, so I'm just lifting out with a tissue. So these are some techniques that you can practice. Okay, if you think something is taking too much of focus, or it is too sharp, then you can lift the colors. Okay, now I think we will go for the foliages around these places. This is a little tricky thing to do, but we'll do that. Alright, now for the foliages around this area, you need, that is a little bit greenish. Okay, I think what we can do is we can almost use sap green for that, but sap green in this context, I think it is too much, too bright kind of thing. So I'll mix a little bit of, I don't want too much greenish. I don't want too much greenish. Okay, so why and all I may not have proper answer, because see, something you like visually, right? That is the thing. Okay, now you have to think of this particular shape also. I'm just worried about all these shapes now. I'm just trying to create some shapes here. Yeah. Some of the shapes I'm trying to suggest here also. There are a lot of greenish stuff here now. Okay, some of this you can probably use your finger to merge the things. See, I don't want any precise stuff. Okay, so you want to avoid precise stuff, so I'm taking little bit of this brush also, so that some of the edges I can define with this. See this, if you use the belly of the brush and manage it, you get some different kind of textures. Okay, different brushes, different textures. I'm just trying to now I'm worried about the edge of the road. It should have that perspective also. It should. This is some kind of a negative painting now, because I am worried about the road now. Okay. Taking some damp water, a damp brush, and merging these all together. I don't really want precise things there. See, this is, I don't know how well to explain this. This is something that you suggest the things without overworking the details. Okay, that's it. Now the same way you have to do this side also. Hope this is this you may find it little difficult to manage, because it is not that easy. I'm just trying to get some darker tones done first, then some lighter stuffs, some green stuff, something here, and here these are all horizontal lines kind of thing, because that should define the road. And little greenish stuff. Some light greenish. I'm finding some light greenish tone, so I'm just rubbing it with a light greenish tone here. But there also I'm not finding it as a precise line, so I'm just making some different kind of texture here, so that they are not precise lines. Okay. Okay, now I would say sprinkle something here so that create some texture. Here also there are some dark marks, so I'm just trying to make some dark marks with this kind of a pen like this one. There are some distant lines sort of things also. Lot of lines, and these lines will create the illusion of depth. But something is happening at the distant side. Yeah, something. Okay. Okay. Smudge. Smudging is the key. Okay. I just wanted to. This is something that cannot be really explained well. It is a process that constantly you evaluate what is there on the paper, what you want, whether you are getting what you want on the paper, then correct it. It is something like that. Okay. You may succeed, you may not. Okay. Now leaving this, what I will do is I will try to get these trees done now. See, if you look at the trees, there is some little bit of bend there. I'm taking the same mix. I'm mixing burnt sienna and little ultramarine to make it little darker, and I wanted to make this particular tree now. See, this is little bit of bending now. Okay. There is some kind of branches also there. Okay, some branches coming this side also. Okay, now it is coming little bit up. Now take this narrow brush and try to judge, make some foliage, something like this. I think this will do. Something like this, something like this. You cannot, I'm just trying from the side, I'm trying to make some strokes so that looks like a foliage. It is not precise. You can make a little bit more touches here and there to make it a little bit more justifying if you want. Okay, so think we got most of these suggestions. Okay, now the tree is also there. I wish if the tree was little bigger. Can we make little bigger? I think we can, but see, it is very easy to get tempted to do something which we are not sure of. I would have easily tried this if it was not a proper demonstration, and I don't want to take too much of risk at this point, because in a demonstration we should be a bit more careful, because if I was just painting it, I would have not worried too much. So what I would say is, you have to be daring. You have to be daring little bit when you do watercolors, so that you can learn a lot. Now what I will do is, if you really look at on the road, there are some tonal differences. So what I wanted to do is, I wanted to create some kind of a tonal difference of that sort. So what I am doing is, I am again mixing the same color, cobalt blue, burnt umber, little bit of violet, and somewhat that color, and you will see there are a lot of lines sort of thing here. Some texture sort of thing. Okay, somewhere. And somewhere some texture here and all. That's what it might sometimes spoil it. As I was telling, you have a lot of chances that things will be spoiled. But as I am telling, experiment. If it is too much, try to take some damp brush and smudge it with this. Falling short of color. You should not end up having that issue. That is a big problem. If you fall short of mixed color, then somewhere your judgment is going wrong. See, judgment is not only in the tones. You also should be able to judge the amount of color that you want. That also is important. Okay, now you will find some kind of a puddle of water here. We can probably enhance that little bit by adding some darker tone. We will use little darker tone, some blue and I would say burnt sienna. This one, some edge, the edges that are, I'm trying to suggest, I'm using a little bit of orange also. I'm trying to suggest some kind of a depth there at the end, at the edges, so that it looks a little deep. Okay, because they then look little deeper in tone, deeper at level. Otherwise, it may not be just convincing enough. And I'm trying to make some that also should be proper in a little bit of perspective. Really, to explain that perspective and all, it is little difficult. It might need a class by itself, but I think we are just trying to create some illusion here, and it has to just work to a certain level. Not, you don't have to get it working very precisely. See, this all will look like some gada sort of thing, some puddle sort of thing now. See, it would have been better if we can also create some kind of some reflection and all, but there is nothing much there on the road to show the reflection. If we really want to show the reflection, we need some people here, and their reflection we can show here. But I don't want to go with that approach now, because I don't want to make it very complex work. Okay, I'll just make a little bit thicker version of the same road color. Little thicker version, and I'll make some directional line so that it shows the depth sort of thing. While making that line, I'll cut it at the puddle so that it looks convincing. Those puddles look convincing. That's it. So that they look a little bit convincing. If you really want, you can. What I would just try is, for this tree I might show some reflection here. That's it, not too much. If it is too much of reflection, then it will be spoiled. Yeah, that I think that will do. So if you really want to have some other reflection, then we'll have to make a lot of something, some electric power or something, and the reflections, or you have to make some person and then reflection. I don't want to do any of those things now, because I don't want to make it very complicated. So I think I will finish it now. I'll close it now. I'll just put my signature, and for putting the signature, I don't want any complicated tone, so I'll just use this yellow, this what is that, burnt sienna, and little bit of cobalt blue tone I'll take, and I will mix with, I'll sign it here. So we have completed our drawing, our work. We didn't do much anything precise. So this is how I would suggest a very cloudy scene in watercolor. Okay, now we will take out the tape. Okay, the paper is still buckling a bit, I mean reshaping a bit, but ideally we should take out the tape once it is fully dry. Okay, I lift it a little bit so that I can. Okay, now we have very crisp, clear edges for the work. Okay, now I think we have done pretty much what do you call it as, justification to our work. Okay, so you might find it little, the paper is still buckling a bit. You see a lot of things here, it is lifted up, I mean a lot of bending is there on the paper, but usually I think over a period of time it will all get dried and it will flatten up. Okay, thank you very much. Please do practice this particular work, and I mean try to work faster and get the wet effect better. Okay, if you have any questions, please do ask me. I'll try to respond as early as possible. Right, thank you very much. Bye for now. See you in the next video.